Ladies and gentlemen, I want to tell you something today that could change your life. God is about to give you something you never expected. You may be looking at your situation and wondering, how will I get through this? Maybe you've been praying, waiting, believing, and still nothing has changed. But what if I told you that your breakthrough is closer than you think? God is not limited by your expectations. He is not bound by what you see or what you think is possible. He works beyond human logic, beyond natural limitations. When you least expect it, when you're about to give up, He steps in and does something that will leave you speechless. Think about this. There were people in the Bible who never saw their blessing coming. Joseph was betrayed by his brothers, thrown into a pit, sold into slavery, and locked in prison. But what he didn't know was that God was preparing a throne for him in Egypt. One moment he was in a prison cell, and the next he was ruling a nation. He never expected it, but God had it planned all along. Some of you are in a season of waiting, and you feel forgotten. You see others being blessed, and you wonder, God, did you forget about me? But I'm here to tell you, your name is on God's list. Your blessing is scheduled. It's coming, and it's going to be bigger than you imagined. God is about to open doors you never knocked on. He is about to pour out favor you didn't even ask for. He is about to give you opportunities that are beyond your qualifications. It won't be what you expected, it will be better. But here's the key. Stay in faith. Keep trusting, keep praising, and keep believing, even when nothing makes sense. What God has for you is too great for human timing. It's not late, it's just in His time. So get ready. Stay expectant, because when God shows up, He doesn't come empty-handed. He comes with blessings, favor, and breakthroughs that will leave you saying, I never expected this, but God did it. Your miracle is on the way. Are you ready for it? Life has a way of testing us through struggles, challenges, and difficult moments. These times often feel overwhelming, as if we are walking through a storm with no end in sight. It's in these moments that doubt creeps in, making us question if things will ever get better. We pray, we hope, we work hard, and yet sometimes the results seem far from what we expect. But what if the struggle itself is a setup for something greater? What if the pain is not just suffering, but preparation for an unexpected blessing? Unexpected blessings often come after struggles because life operates on a principle of endurance. When we go through hardships, we develop strength, resilience, and wisdom, qualities that prepare us to handle greater things. Think about a person who has faced financial hardships. They learn the value of money, patience, and perseverance. Then, when a financial breakthrough comes, perhaps in the form of a job opportunity, a business idea, or unexpected support, they are prepared to handle it wisely. Without the struggle, they might not have appreciated or even recognized the blessing when it arrived. One of the biggest reasons blessings often follow struggles is that hardships teach us to trust in a higher plan. Many times people pray for something specific, expecting an immediate answer. When that answer doesn't come, frustration sets in. But later, when something far greater happens, something they never even considered, they look back and realize why their initial prayers were not answered the way they expected. The struggle was necessary to align them with the right opportunity at the right time. It forced them to grow, to become ready for something they never even thought possible. Take the example of someone who loses a job. At first it seems like a disaster. Anxiety and fear set in, making it hard to see any good in the situation. But during the period of unemployment, this person might learn new skills, develop a deeper understanding of their true passion, or simply grow in patience and faith. Then, unexpectedly, a new job opportunity arises, one that is better than the previous one in every way. At that moment, they realize that losing the job was not the end. It was a redirection towards something greater. The struggle made them stronger, more prepared, and more appreciative of the blessing that came afterward. Another reason struggles often precede blessings is that they separate what is temporary from what is truly valuable. Difficult times reveal who and what truly matters in life. They strip away false securities and distractions, forcing us to focus on what is real and meaningful. When a person goes through heartbreak, for example, they may feel as if their world is falling apart. But later, they meet someone who values them in ways they never thought possible. They realize that the heartbreak was necessary to remove the wrong person and make space for the right one. If they had not gone through the pain, they might never have been open to receiving the love and respect they truly deserved. It is also important to understand that struggles often change our perspective. Before facing challenges, people tend to take many things for granted. They may not fully appreciate the blessings they already have, but when hardship comes, they begin to see life differently. They become more grateful, more humble, and more aware of the things that truly matter. This shift in perspective allows them to recognize and receive unexpected blessings when they arrive. If someone has experienced deep loneliness, for example, they develop a greater appreciation for relationships and community. When they finally find true companionship, they cherish it in a way they never would have before. Sometimes, struggles are not just about personal growth, but also about positioning. There are countless stories of people who, because of a difficult situation, were placed in the exact position they needed to be for an unexpected opportunity. A person might move to a new city because of a financial crisis, only to find that this move leads them to a life-changing career. Another person might experience a health scare that forces them to adopt a healthier lifestyle, which in turn extends their life in ways they never expected. These moments of struggle are not just random, they are often divine setups for something greater. What makes unexpected blessings so powerful is that they come when we least expect them. They arrive at a time when we have almost given up, when we feel we have exhausted all options. This is why faith and perseverance are so important. Those who keep going, even when the journey is tough, are the ones who experience breakthroughs that others miss. The struggle refines us, humbles us, and strengthens us, making us capable of handling the blessings when they finally come. At times, people wish they could skip the struggle and go straight to the blessing. But without the struggle, they wouldn't be able to fully receive or appreciate what is coming. A student who studies tirelessly for years finally graduates and lands a dream job. An entrepreneur who faced repeated failures finally builds a successful business. A couple who endured years of challenges finally experiences the joy of a strong, loving relationship. In every case, the struggle was part of the process. So, when facing difficult times, it is important to remember that something greater may be on the horizon. Just because things are hard now doesn't mean they will stay that way. Just because you don't see a blessing yet doesn't mean it's not coming. Often, the biggest breakthroughs come at the moment when we are about to give up. That is when faith is tested the most, right before the unexpected blessing arrives. Life's challenges are not meant to destroy us, but to prepare us. They build the strength, wisdom, and character we need to handle the blessings that are coming. When the struggle seems unbearable, it may be because something greater is just around the corner. The key is to keep moving forward, to trust the process, and to believe that what is ahead is far greater than what is behind. The blessings will come, often when we least expect them. Life often unfolds in ways we never anticipated. We set goals, make plans, and pray for specific outcomes, believing that we know what is best for us. But time and time again, we are reminded that God's plans far exceed anything we could ever imagine. While we may pray for certain things, whether it be success, healing, relationships, or breakthroughs, God sees beyond our limited vision and orchestrates events in a way that aligns with His greater purpose for our lives. What we think we need is often just a small piece of what He has in store. Many times, people approach prayer with specific requests, asking for things that seem logical based on their current circumstances. A person struggling with finances may pray for a small increase in income to cover immediate expenses, not realizing that God is planning to open doors for a career change that will provide financial security for years to come. Someone praying for the healing of a broken relationship may not understand that God is leading them toward a different path, one that will bring greater joy, peace, and fulfillment in ways they never expected. Because we are human, we tend to focus on short-term solutions, but God's wisdom operates on an eternal scale. The reason God's plans are bigger than our prayers is that He knows the full picture. While we see only what is right in front of us, God sees the past, the present, and the future all at once. He knows the opportunities that are coming, the lessons we need to learn, and the hidden blessings that we would overlook if left to our own understanding. Sometimes, what we perceive as a delay in answered prayer is actually divine timing at work. A person may pray for a promotion at work and feel disappointed when it doesn't happen, only to later realize that God was positioning them for a much greater opportunity elsewhere. In the moment, it may feel like rejection, but in reality, it is redirection towards something far better. There are countless examples of people in the Bible who experience this truth firsthand. Joseph, for instance, may have prayed to be freed from the prison where he was unjustly held. But if God had simply answered that prayer in the way Joseph expected, he might have gone back to a simple life, missing the extraordinary destiny that awaited him. Instead, God had a much bigger plan: to make Joseph the second most powerful man in Egypt. His suffering was not wasted. It was part of a divine setup to elevate him beyond anything he could have imagined. The same principle applies to our lives. What we think is a setback is often the foundation for something far greater than we could have envisioned. There are also times when we pray for something, believing it is exactly what we need, only to realize later that God had something far better in mind. A person might desperately want a certain job, relationship, or opportunity, only to feel devastated when it doesn't work out. But months or years later, they may look back with gratitude, realizing that what they thought they wanted was nothing compared to what God ultimately provided. His wisdom surpasses our limited understanding, and His timing is always perfect. Faith plays a crucial role in trusting that God's plans are greater than our own. When prayers seem unanswered, it is easy to feel discouraged and question whether God is listening. But faith reminds us that just because we don't see immediate results doesn't mean God is not working behind the scenes. Often, the very things we desire require a process of preparation. If a person dreams of running a successful business, for example, they may need to go through a season of learning, growth, and even failure before they are ready to handle the responsibilities that come with that success. If a person prays for a loving and lasting relationship, they may need to first undergo personal growth so they can be the right person when the time comes. God's plans are not only bigger than our prayers, they are also designed for our ultimate good. What we desire is often based on our immediate wants, but God's purpose is to shape us, refine us, and lead us to a place of lasting joy and fulfillment. Sometimes this means removing things from our lives that we thought were good for us. A door closing can be painful, but if we trust that God's plans are greater, we can have peace knowing that He is leading us towards something far more beautiful. There are also moments in life when God answers prayers in a way that is completely unexpected. A person may pray for financial provision and instead be given a creative idea that turns into a thriving business. Someone struggling with loneliness may pray for companionship, only to be led into a season of personal growth that prepares them for the perfect relationship later on. The way God answers prayers is often not in the way we imagined, but always in a way that is greater than we could have planned for ourselves. Waiting for God's plan to unfold requires patience, trust, and faith. In a world where people want instant results, it can be difficult to accept that some things take time. But just as a seed takes time to grow into a strong tree, God's plans require seasons of preparation. Looking back, people often realize that the things they once desperately wanted were small in comparison to the blessings they eventually received. When we truly grasp that God's plans are bigger than our prayers, we learn to surrender our desires and trust in His divine wisdom. Instead of feeling discouraged when things don't go according to our plans, we can rest in the assurance that something better is coming. No prayer goes unheard, and no desire is too small for God to consider. But instead of simply giving us what we ask for, He gives us what is best for us. His love for us is too great to let us settle for anything less than His best. Faith is one of the most powerful forces in life, shaping how people navigate challenges, uncertainties, and the unknown. It is more than just believing in something. It is the ability to trust in what cannot yet be seen, knowing that there is a divine plan at work. Faith positions people to receive miracles because it aligns their hearts and minds with the possibilities that exist beyond human understanding. While the world often demands proof before belief, faith works in the opposite way. It requires belief before the proof appears. This is why those who hold on to faith, even in the darkest moments, often find themselves experiencing breakthroughs that defy logic. One of the greatest aspects of faith is that it prepares people for what they cannot yet perceive. When someone believes in the possibility of a miracle, they begin to act, think, and speak as if it is already on the way. This expectation creates a mindset that is open to receiving the unexpected. A person who has faith in financial provision, for example, will continue to work diligently, make wise decisions, and remain hopeful even when circumstances look bleak. Because of this faith-driven mindset, they are ready when the opportunity arrives. If they had given in to doubt and despair, they might have missed the very opportunity that was meant for them. Faith keeps people in a position of readiness, allowing them to recognize and receive miracles when they come. There are countless examples of people who have held on to faith despite overwhelming odds and were rewarded with miraculous outcomes. A person facing a health crisis, for instance, may choose to believe in healing even when doctors say there is no hope. This faith does not ignore reality, but it creates a space for possibilities beyond human limitations. Miraculous recoveries often happen in cases where people refuse to give up hope, and science has even acknowledged the powerful role that belief plays in the healing process. Faith strengthens the spirit, and when the spirit is strong, the body often follows. Faith also requires action. It is not simply about waiting for something to happen, but about stepping forward with confidence even when the path is unclear. Imagine a person who dreams of starting a business but lacks the resources. If they allow doubt to control them, they may never take the first step. But if they move forward in faith, researching, planning, and preparing as if success is inevitable, they are in the right position to receive an unexpected opportunity, whether it be an investor, a partnership, or a breakthrough idea. Many people who have achieved great success look back and realize that they started with nothing but faith. They took action before they saw results, and because of their willingness to believe, the right doors opened at the right time. Another way faith positions people for unseen miracles is by shaping their perspective. Life is filled with challenges, and those without faith often see obstacles as the end of the road. They believe that if something doesn't work out immediately, it was never meant to be. But faith allows people to see challenges differently. Instead of viewing setbacks as failures, they see them as stepping stones towards something greater. A person who faces repeated rejection might lose hope, but someone with faith understands that rejection is often redirection. What seems like a closed door may actually be leading them to something better. This perspective allows them to keep going when others would quit. And in doing so, they often find themselves stepping into miracles that they never could have planned on their own. Faith also strengthens resilience. The road to miracles is rarely easy, and many people give up just before their breakthrough. Holding on to faith means continuing to believe even when there is no evidence that things are changing. This kind of persistence is what leads to the most incredible transformations. A person struggling with addiction, for example, may relapse several times before finally breaking free. If they lose faith in their ability to change, they may give up altogether. But if they keep believing that freedom is possible, they will continue to fight, and one day they will find themselves walking in the very miracle they once thought was impossible. There is also a deeper spiritual truth about faith. It aligns people with divine timing. Sometimes a miracle does not come immediately because the person is not yet ready to receive it. Faith ensures that even during the waiting period, they remain expectant, hopeful, and prepared. A person praying for a life-changing opportunity might not receive it right away because they need time to develop the skills, character, or mindset required to handle the blessing. If they lose faith during the waiting process, they might walk away before the opportunity arrives. But if they remain steadfast, trusting that what is meant for them will come at the right time, they will be positioned exactly where they need to be when the miracle unfolds. Faith also attracts divine favor. When people choose to believe in what they cannot see, they invite supernatural intervention into their lives. There are countless stories of people who took leaps of faith, starting businesses with no money, moving to new cities without knowing what awaited them, pursuing dreams that seemed impossible, only to find that the right people, resources, and circumstances aligned in ways they never could have orchestrated on their own. These moments often seem like coincidences, but those who have experienced them know that they are anything but random. Faith acts as a magnet for miracles, drawing in opportunities that defy logic and expectation. One of the most challenging aspects of faith is maintaining it when nothing seems to be happening. It is easy to believe when things are going well, but true faith is tested in moments of silence, uncertainty, and delay. Many people give up too soon because they expect immediate results. But those who understand the power of faith know that sometimes the miracle is in the process itself. The lessons learned, the growth experienced, and the strength developed during the waiting period are often just as valuable as the miracle itself. A person who prays for financial abundance but first learns how to manage money wisely through hardship will be far better equipped to handle prosperity when it comes. Faith also creates an environment of gratitude. Those who believe in unseen miracles do not wait until the blessing arrives to be thankful. They practice gratitude even before they see results, which shifts their energy and focus. Gratitude amplifies faith, creating a cycle where belief and expectation continue to grow. A person who is grateful for the opportunities they have, no matter how small, is more likely to recognize and embrace bigger opportunities when they appear. This mindset of faith and gratitude opens doors that would otherwise remain closed. Ultimately, faith positions people for miracles by keeping them aligned with hope, action, resilience, and divine timing. It prepares them to receive what they cannot yet see and allows them to continue moving forward even when circumstances suggest otherwise. Faith is not just about believing in what is possible, it is about believing in the impossible and acting as if it is already on the way. Those who live with this kind of faith often find themselves experiencing breakthroughs that others never do, not because they were more deserving, but because they refused to stop believing. Faith is the bridge between the seen and the unseen, the possible and the impossible, the ordinary and the miraculous. Those who hold on to it, even in the face of uncertainty, will find themselves walking into blessings they never imagined.